What's up, movie fans and Netflix bingers? This is the Bros Who Binge podcast. My name is Adam Schubert, and as always, I'm joined by Lyndon Burton. Lyndon, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing good, man. Solid week this week. Episodes like this is why I wish I had all the episodes of The Boys out like now, because I wait till Sunday before when we record this pod to watch, and it didn't get spoiled for me, luckily. And then I watch it, I'm like, damn, I just want to keep watching it. I don't want to stop. And then to find out we only have 2 episodes left, that's fucking ass, bro. That sucks. We only have 2 episodes left, but that's okay because the next season is probably going to come faster than this one.
Yeah, since it's already shot or whatever.
Yeah, so it'll come faster than this one. And then we have The Mandalorian starting in what, 2-3 weeks?
End of the month.
Ooh, so
end of October.
We got to wait a little longer. And then we only got 3 episodes left of Lovecraft.
Yeah, so I mean, we're going to have like a little lull period in between to go to Mando.
And Avatar we'll be done with probably like, if not next week,
probably
after.
Around Mando.
Yeah, so our slate's looking to open up a little bit.
Yeah, and then once we get to Mandalorian, that's going to be, 8 straight weeks? Because they don't have any double episodes.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I guess that's supposed to take you to the end of the year, pretty much.
That'll carry us to WandaVision.
Because yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so we'll be okay going that way. But like, man, loving The Boys. Like this week's episode was really good. Can't wait to talk about it. I'm just letting people know at the beginning of the show, I don't know what the fuck was going on in Lovecraft this week. And we'll try to talk about it, but I have no idea what was going on. But other than that, been good. Been watching a lot of old movies, man. But I watched like a lot of Alfred Hitchcock stuff this past week. Like I watched Vertigo. I watched To Catch a Thief. That's the one with my guy where he's the cat in he's basically Lupin the Third, but I forget his name.
Cary Grant?
Yeah, Cary Grant's in it, To Catch a Thief. That's a good one. I watched Vertigo with Jimmy Stewart, and then I watched the other one, the one that's like a Rear Window, where he's just like chilling in his house all fucked up and he's looking at a murder happen across the street. All 3 really, really great movies. And funny enough, people rank Vertigo higher than To Catch a Thief and Rear Window. I'm more of a Rear Window and To Catch a Thief fan. I liked what Cary Grant did in that movie. North by Northwest was cool too. I liked it, but I was a fan of the cat in Roby and everything Cary Grant did. But I've been watching a lot of 40s, 50s, and 60s movies recently. Just doing my thug thizzle, man. Chilling.
That's dope. I've been getting ready to set the slate for October. I'm excited to get in this horror bag. I guess it's really something that I've been like feeling because I never really been into like watching horror movies when I was growing up because like I would get scared or whatever. But now I really want to like tap into like the ones that I can handle. Like there's still like some of that stuff, like I guess, the real supernatural shit is where like like the Conjuring, Sinister kind of stuff is like the shit that like scares the fuck out of me.
Oh yeah, but like I couldn't sleep for a while after watching. No, it wasn't Insidious. It was the one. It's the one about the Catholic Church. Even though looking back on it, it wasn't that scary, but it was just everything to do with the Catholic Church. And at the time, I was getting confirmed, and it was just like, ooh, this is.
But I want to go back and I want to like watch The Exorcist, and I want to like watch Freddy Krueger and
have fun with that.
And some of like the some of the slasher ones, and and maybe some of the ones that are like borderline horror and like comedy, like Evil Dead. So like
you enjoy yourself with that this October. I will not be joining you. I've seen my fair share of horror films. Unless you recommend one, I'll watch it. But like I used to be scared growing up watching Freddy Krueger because my mom is one of those religious moms that would have crosses on the room. And in Freddy Krueger, in every house they had a cross on the door. So like my shit, bro, I used to be scared as shit in my room after I watched one of those fucking movies.
Yeah, so I want to get into that. And also, even in Movie on the Rise, I have a television show that's horror because, it all starts to come out during this that I want to talk about. And I also watched the trailer to Haunting in Bly Manor, which is like the haunting.
You just been in a horror vibe, my guy.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I decided not to talk about the trailer because I didn't want to like make you watch it because like it's it's just the same old with that. But I don't know if I'm gonna watch that on Netflix, but I watched the trailer and it's out there. So
I might join you. I also went on like an Eddie Murphy bender for like 3 days or 2 days. I watched Trading Places, Harlem Nights, Come Into America, 48 Hours, and Beverly Hills Cop. Like, watched all of them because I made my girlfriend watch Beverly Hills Cop with me. She enjoyed it a lot. But then she went to sleep, and I was like, oh, I want to watch Trading Places now. So then it just kept spiraling. That movie's really racist, by the way.
It
like,
is. It is.
It's
got
amazing.
blackface.
It's amazing. Like, don't get it twisted. I love Trading Places. My mom loves Trading Places. Like, a lot of black people I know love Trading Places. That movie's amazing. But my God, is it like...
That's why Dan Aykroyd isn't canceled, because like it's just so beloved by the black community that they're like, okay, well, Dan Aykroyd, you know, you do blackface in this movie.
What's up, man? Cool. That dude was wildin', bro. And then Rudolph and his brother Randolph, them two niggas was wildin' too. But not so much the older looking one. The white haired one was he faked it pretty well to the end where he was like, I won't have a black man running our company. And the other one was like, damn straight, Randolph, damn straight. Shit was hilarious, bro. But yeah,
I like watching that at Christmas time.
I told my girlfriend, I was like, this Christmas, Trading Places is going to be on the list. It's a Christmas movie. It is.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's a Christmas and New Year's movie. It's like both of them.
But I guess I wanted to dial it up into the edge a little bit because like I've been watching all the reality shows. Like this week, Love Island ends.
Oh, yeah. I've been hearing about American Love Island. Is it as good as our British companions?
I mean,
if it's not, I won't watch it.
I haven't dove into like I haven't been able to go through a whole season of the British just because like it's so long. And so
I was in the last British season. Shout out to my people. What's my Rebecca McGorley? Fuck Shanice. Shauna Phillips. Shout out to the twins, Jennifer, Jessica, and Eva Rosegal. Yo, y'all come on the pod.
I guess like what makes this exciting to watch is that it's going on as is. So like this is like real time. This is like during the era that we're in. So like, you know, the whole idea that they're in this quarantine bubble and like, you know, is a part of the whole bit. And, you know, you get to tweet along with everybody who's watching it. So like, I feel like that's why I've been more so inclined for this US season, but obviously like the UK stuff is always way more interesting.
Yeah. That's the OG.
Big Brother is going to have its first triple eviction this week.
Oh, yeah. I've been seeing about that on the timeline. I told my girlfriend, I was like, I know Schubert's happy about this shit.
Yeah. So, and then Bachelorette starts in 2 weeks. So,
isn't this like the forgotten season?
No, this is the season that's going to be dope. I've told you about this where like the chick comes in and then
she leaves.
And then 2 weeks later, she's like, oh no, I just want this dude. And then just leaves. And then then the other girl comes in.
Oh yeah. I'm watching this one just for that. Yeah. I'm watching this shit. Okay. Yeah. Lit. I'm hyped. All right. Well, lit. We got a lot of stories. Let me say this at the top. We are doing something. We're testing something that's going to be, we're testing in this podcast as well as Anime Talk this week. We're testing an idea that we're going to clip out this segment on this show and the one on Anime Talk, but it's a show idea that we came up with. We don't have the name for it. It's going to be a draft. We don't have the name for the show yet, but basically we're testing it in Anime Talk and in this show. In this show, what we're going to be drafting is me and Schubert will be drafting our own Justice League. There's rules to it. We're taking 7 members. There's a rule that if we pick one Trinity member, so let's say Schubert drafts Wonder Woman, he cannot draft Batman or Superman. Or if I draft Batman, I cannot draft Superman or Wonder Woman. We can only have one member of the Trinity, and then the rest is fair game. You can go with villains if you want. You have to explain it. You can do whatever you want. But just only one Trinity member and 7 members. Me and Schubert have like a inside thing where it's not a rule, but we're going to try to put a rookie on the squad. They don't necessarily have to have been on the Justice League, or they could have been, but we're just going to call them our rookie. So in an Anime Talk, we're drafting
pretty much like the young boy.
Crew. Yeah, pretty much the pirate. Yeah, pretty much the young boy. And on Anime Talk this week, you can check out, me and Chris will be drafting our pirate crew from One Piece. The rules in that is no Marines and no Yonkos. So we're testing out this little draft idea we got, but we're starting on this show with drafting our Justice League, and I'm super hyped for this. I'm interested to see who you pick.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a pretty interesting idea, and you know we're sticking with just DC, right?
Yeah, just DC. No, we'll draft an Avengers team later down the line, but today
I feel like that's going to be even more difficult because, like, when you said let's draft a Justice League, I'm like, okay, 7 members.
Yeah.
But like from Avengers, I don't know. What do you pick 4?
We probably have to make it like 7. We'd probably do 7 again.
Yeah, but I guess like, you know, just
Justice League is just
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Martian Manhunters.
and
is where and so and then there's like a floating seven. Green Arrow.
Yeah, Black Canary, Firestorm, the Atom. You can throw many different ones in there. But I'm super excited to test this out. We're drafting our Justice League. Y'all stick around for the show for that. But Schubert, whenever you're ready, man, we can get started.
All right, yeah, I'm ready. So let's get going. As always, on the top, I want to do a little bit about Star Wars. The news that came out about the new Rogue One spinoff series is that it's going to have a new director. Toby Haynes will helm the first 3 episodes, replacing Tony Gilroy. Gilroy dropped off as director for COVID-related travel reasons and will serve as the showrunner. Tony Gilroy was the writer for Rogue One, so he pretty much created the character. That was why he was given these liberties. Toby Hayes, I believe Lyndon might be talking about it a little bit later, but Utopia, the series on Amazon, he directed 4 episodes of that series. He directed the TV movie Brexit. He directed the Black Mirror episode USS Callister.
He has a good resume.
He did some Doctor Who, some Sherlock. So he's definitely a pretty solid director and someone that I'm pretty confident to be leading these first 3 episodes of the Cassian Andor series, as we're now wanting to see what teams Lucasfilm and Disney developed to create these other series, because we know about Deborah Chow and Obi-Wan, but I also want to know about that round table. Watching the director documentary of Mandalorian and seeing like the round table of directors and the minds that went into that story, I'm always interested to figure out what minds are going to come together with Toby Haynes and Tony Gilroy here. Who are they going to get to build out this story?
Yeah, interesting. So this is the cast. Okay, see, I was confused when you were reading this because I'm reading the Raul Cooley news, and I thought you were talking about that. But no, you're talking about Cassian Andor. Okay, cool. Good for this guy. Like I said, he has a good resume under his belt, and I'm going to be talking about his show Utopia a little bit later. So dope. Once I finish watching that, I'll let you know what I think about this guy. But cool, good for all of this.
Yeah, well,
the next one's the one. Like, what's Raul Cooley talking about?
Yeah, Raul Cooley is jokingly teasing Star Wars fans that he has gotten, quote, into Lothal Orphan, Force-sensitive, trained by Kanan Jarrus kind of shape for no particular reason, end quote. He said that he was playing around, but it would be great if he was teasing that he's actually going to play an older Ezra.
Is he teasing? Bro, look. I'm just saying. We got, what's her name coming into the show? We got, we got what's old girl? We got Ahsoka. I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe Sabine, depending on how many episodes Ahsoka's in Mando. If not, we're definitely going to see Sabine in the Ahsoka series, which is coming, and maybe that's where we see Raul Cooley. I don't think we see Raul Cooley in Mandalorian. I think we see him for sure if he's playing in the Ahsoka series. But I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he's definitely a solid candidate to be in that space. I mean, if you look at the guy, he kind of looks like Ezra.
And if Dave Filoni's doing the Ahsoka series, which I am 90% sure he's a part of, that's his baby. Like, those are his characters. You're telling me he already put his characters in Mandalorian. You're telling me he's not going to put his other characters in the series with the person who was with his other characters before? Like, come on, fam. What are we talking about? Like, that's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I mean, and he's an up-and-coming actor right now, and I think he'd be a really popular pick to jump in and do this. Someone that's a little bit off the map, but,
he was good in Zombie.
Has a resume. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's known to some people, but it would be like, it's not like bringing in Rosario Dawson,
Yeah.
Like, that was my thing with that casting, is that, okay, you bring in Rosario Dawson, like, when is it Rosario Dawson going to be like, I'm a little bit bigger than doing this Ahsoka thing for years and years and years. So I don't know. I feel like this could be a role that could be like a career defining thing for him if he decided to do it and do it in a big way.
But this reminds me of what's his name? This reminds me of what Kern Waters was doing before DC Fandom, when he was just tweeting out pictures of Red Hood comics for like 4 months, and everybody was like, what are you doing that for, bro? Like, is that coming? And we knew it was coming, but he was just teasing it. That's like low-key Cole Sprouse teasing pictures of Sanji, like just dropping pictures of Sanji on his thing, being like, y'all think I look like him? I think I could pull it off. And he was just doing kicks and shit. Cole Sprouse was dropping pictures of Sanji on IG, and then they made him delete them. They're gone now. So look, all these little actors are dropping these hints.
Do you think he could do that real quick?
Real quick, do I think Cole Sprouse could do Sanji? Funny enough, yes, I do. I like, if you go look at those pictures with his mustache, his blonde hair to the side. He had his
he could
leg
look
up.
like him, but like this dude gonna be kicking around. Like, I don't know.
Well, that's gonna be the stunt double, but I mean,
yeah,
should be lit. But
I mean, like, for him to go out here and be so specific with his reference here, like,
you're not gonna. You don't just.
Why are you gonna tweet that out of the blue? Like, who says, "Oh, I'm getting into Ezra shape"? Like,
same thing happened with what's our guy's name from the bigger guy from Beauty and the Beast. He was
Josh Gad.
You remember when Josh Gad was tweeting about the Penguin? Funny enough, he had the audition. He didn't get it, but he had the audition.
So, at least maybe this could be one of those things where he's planning to audition for the role, so that role could be coming. Yeah.
Now that's what I'm saying. I think the role's coming for sure. That's what I'm saying.
But that's something to get excited about, because I feel like, especially with what we're doing here with the Mandalorian's going to, and what we're thinking about getting in an Ahsoka series, Ezra could play a major role in that.
The only question I have for you is, does this fuck up the new trilogy? Because if Ezra, Ahsoka, Baby Yoda are all alive as Jedis, how the hell did Kylo Ren and all of this shit take over?
Now, it's difficult.
With Luke in the background, mind you.
It's difficult because you're talking to me, and I've been out there, and there's some out there theories of what the whole Baby Yoda thing is entailing. Like, there's theories out there.
Don't tell me they think he's Snoke.
No. There's like theories out there that, Baby Yoda in connection to meeting up with Ahsoka and Ezra could get wrapped up into the whole world between worlds thing and end up traveling back in time and being Yoda. There's like theories that like, even that they all go into the world between worlds and they pop in after the events, because of that whole time travel element that was introduced in Rebels, like you never know what might happen. And especially because we don't know what's happened with Ezra for all this time. We don't know where he has been. There was those theories that Snoke came from like the outer regions. Well, we know what that is now. Like, after the trilogy ended, we know what all that was. And so where did Ezra go? So like, that's the whole thing. So, that's some things that they could be piecing together with this. But, my whole thing with Mandalorian season 2 is that for seeing him like getting some connection to the Rebels, Resistance, that whole element of the world in this season. Like, if Luke knows that this old Baby Yoda's out in the world, then what the heck is Luke doing? Just sucking his thumb? Like, and Leia too. Like, what are they doing? Like,
and that's why I just asked. I have to ask the question: does it mess up what we have now? Like, but I don't think
I don't think a lot of the fans would care.
Yeah, and also I don't think Filoni's going to do that. I don't think Filoni would mess up. He's going to tie it in smoothly. But like, how do you feel being a avid Star Wars fan about time travel, about all these potential theories and whatnot? Are you okay with it?
It all depends on how it's done, because like I felt like Rebels like really did it well. Okay. Where like they tied in like an element of like, okay, well, he saved Ahsoka in like a different time period and brought her into a future time period. So there's a whole time period of like years where Ahsoka is just like not a thing. Mm-hmm. And but she pops, so I mean, like, it's just, it muddles things up a little bit from like what the movies give you, but the movie is just a small snippet of the universe,
Yeah,
so like it's only told from a certain point of view. That's the whole thing that Star Wars fans, like true Star Wars fans, understand, is that every little story is told in its own certain point of view. So
let me ask you what you asked me 2 weeks ago about DC. Are they getting too inside baseball?
I'm worried that they are doing that with the series. Yeah, because like, at least, with this Cassian Andor thing, I feel like there's not going to be any inside baseball with that. It's going to be pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
Espionage.
And that's what people liked about season 1, was that it was cut and dry, Western. If they're doing all of this extra, it's not a Western anymore. Like, it's not.
Well, it still can be a Western, but that's where I'm hoping that like whatever they're trying to do with this Jedi shit branches,
And
like,
goes to Ahsoka.
let it
the
go to
series.
Ahsoka, like
Yeah.
and maybe like the Mandalorian has like, well, I wouldn't even be surprised if like they cut it after season 3 or something. If if Baby Yoda branches,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like because like the whole show, I guess, is like the relationship between the two, and how long are you gonna be able to keep Pedro Pascal? Like look what this dude is doing out in Hollywood at this point. So maybe they're looking to like figure out
Branch
their
off.
next endeavor while they have Pedro Pascal. So
Interesting. I just want to ask you this, but we'll keep everybody up to date with Star Wars news. But next up, big DC news. 2 big DC stories. So we're gonna start off with the movies, or even though both pertain to the movies. But I digress. Aldous Hodge will soar as DC Comics superhero Hawkman in the movie Black Adam. The Rock gave a very good story of him telling Aldous that he is Hawkman. And for all the people who are like, but Hawkman was a white guy. Well, Hawkman was reincarnated.
Hawkman was an alien.
Hawkman is either an alien. Well, all right. This is super, super inside baseball. Hawkman is a reincarnated entity from thousands of years. He's been an alien. He's been a human. He's been black. He's been white. He's been Asian. Hawkman is an alien and Hawkman's a human. He's an entity that just keeps getting reincarnated. So Aldous Hodge may be one interpretation of Hawkman. By the time Hawkman catches up with Shazam, if there's one by that time, it may be a new Hawkman. So just throwing that out there for those people like that. But I like the casting of Aldous Hodge. I like it with Noah Centineo and going with The Rock. The Rock has also said that this guy's the leader of the JSA or of the Justice League Society of America, the JSA. So look, I'm interested in this. Good to see Hawkman. We're not getting a Hawk girl, so that tells me that perks my ears up. Where's she gonna come in at? Because if you have a Hawkman, it's gonna be pretty soon we get a Hawk girl. So
it depends. I think it depends on what iteration of Hawkman is this, because like you have the Hawkman, like you were talking about, the alien that has like an entire race of like Hawk people. I'm talking about from the Justice League comics, or not the comics, comics and for
the cartoon. Yeah,
cartoon.
But the Thanagarians. Yeah, no, that's in comics.
The Thanagarians, and so, but like the one that I'm thinking that might interpret into is the one from Legends of Tomorrow, which is my connection to what's going on right now. Where in Legends of Tomorrow they have Hawk Girl. I'm not saying that it's going to be the same Hawk Girl that comes into this, but like they go into the whole like years of reincarnation and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that that's like what they're going for with this Hawkman, and like we'll get a Hawk Girl
at some
point. At some point, depending on how
successful this is.
Well, how successful this is and how the Hawkman character is carried throughout the film. Like, I don't know what his storyline is going to be within Black Adam. So
100%. But this is good news. We got another DC superhero, and I like the casting of Aldous Hodge. He's a young actor who's coming up. I'm sure this tells me that DC was looking at a bunch of black actors. If I had to bet my marbles, if I wanted to be like, if I'm inside the Warner Brothers, a fly on the office, I bet dollars to donuts that this dude tested for Green Lantern. But they liked him. They just didn't think he was good enough, and he got this. If I had to bet the mortgage of the house on it, I bet it on that. I think that's a pretty safe assumption. But don't like hearing that my guy JD Dubs is trying to go to Marvel. Like, nah, bro.
Well, he just said that he's interested in being Reed Richards. We don't even know when there's going to be a Fantastic Four movie. Like, he might be too big for that anyway.
Yeah, he's staying over at Warner Brothers. But next up, speaking of Warner Brothers, to me, and let me say this now. To me, this tells me DC has an idea. This tells me Gunn's just about to do his Guardians of the Galaxy and jump ship. This tells me that DC knows where they want to take their universe. This tells me that HBO Max is connected. This tells me that maybe even CW is connected, where it's a universe inside of this multiverse. They might never show up in the films, maybe, unless they do like a Crisis on Infinite Earth again, like, or something along those lines. But this tells me that they have a plan for their multiverse and where they're going to go. So HBO Max is giving a green light series 2, a Peacemaker spinoff from John Cena and James Gunn from the upcoming Suicide Squad movie. He's going to reprise his role. However, James Gunn has not given any details on if this is a prequel, if if Cena is alive after Suicide Squad. He said he's purposely not telling you to not spoil his movie. We will find out more about this series and what it entails until then. But all we know right now is a Peacemaker series is coming after the Suicide Squad movie.
James Gunn is going to write the whole series and direct multiple episodes, including the pilot, and it's going to be 8 episodes.
I'm hyped for this. This you don't make this announcement unless this movie's kick ass, and you definitely don't make this announcement unless you like Cena in this role. So that tells me A, Cena's fucking incredible, and B, the movie's fucking incredible.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that this shows that you're super confident in what James Gunn put together, and and like you said, especially in what Cena's character puts together in this. I kind of assumed like if anyone was going to take like a piece, out of the characters that we saw that were established in the Suicide Squad, if anyone could carry on like a spin-off or like someone that I felt like it would have been seen as Peacemaker. Like it seems like it's a very interesting character.
Yeah,
and especially from like doing research into like what he's all about.
He's a vigilante. He's a vigilante that'll kill. He's basically Batman, but that'll kill. In like, well, let me not say Batman. He's Captain America, but someone who would just kill at all costs. Interesting that Bloodsport isn't the character that Gunn chose. Idris Elba's. That may be because they couldn't get Idris Elba to do a TV show, but I doubt that because Idris Elba did Luther, as well as James Gunn.
That goofy ass DJ show on Netflix.
And James Gunn said he wrote this role specifically for Idris Elba, and he had this character envisioned for him the whole time. Now that makes me think, does Idris Elba's storyline end in Suicide Squad? How does that go? Are they saving him for the next movie? We're gonna have to see. But Peacemaker's getting a show, and I'm super, super excited for this.
I have a feeling that it's gonna be. Do we? So we don't know if this is going to happen before the movie.
This is happening after, but we don't know where it takes place.
I think he makes through the movie.
Oh yeah, I think Peacemaker's making it through, even though like Gunn's trying to tease us that he doesn't. I think the movie's going to be a half origin. I mean, I think the TV show is going to be a half like flashbacks to his origin, but it's going to be post movie.
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm thinking it's post movie.
Something's going to happen in that movie to where Peacemaker's going to have to. He's gonna get out of the squad of some form, because I don't think you don't do a Peacemaker series where he's still in the squad, because then you'd have to show Amanda Waller and all these other characters, and I don't think they're gonna do that. Even though it's HBO we're dealing with, so it's a different ball game. But I still think this is something's gonna happen in this movie to where Cena's character gets either separated or gets free of the Suicide Squad. And he's gonna go on his own adventure.
Yeah, I mean, it could easily be a prequel. It's just like, but that's just my early guess at this point.
I'd rather bet on that than a prequel, because Gunn seemed adamant about that. But maybe that's just a well,
and I just want the optimism of having something that's going to run. Mm-hmm. But how long could you secure Cena? It's like what I was talking about with the Star Wars people. It's how long
But see, to me, I feel like this is different than Disney Plus, and this is no disrespect to Disney Plus. HBO has like a stigma about it, to where if you're a big actor, if you're going to do TV, you're doing it on HBO.
That's fair.
So, like, I don't know. That's why I feel it's different. That's why for the rumors of Ben Affleck getting a Batman series on HBO Max, I could believe it. Even though I don't think it's going to happen, because it takes away from Robert Pattinson, and I think Ben Affleck's done after Flash. But I just think that level of actor would be more inclined to do these superhero shows on HBO Max than anywhere else.
Probably so. But I think it's pretty exciting news, and especially that James Gunn really is just kind of making his stamp on the DC universe.
Marvel, man, it's done for y'all. He's going to do Guardians of the Galaxy. He's coming back. It's over. But
from one spinoff to another, the Boys could soon be getting a spinoff.
Ooh, not soon. They are.
Or yeah, well, they are going to have a spinoff. And we've learned that Amazon is fast-tracking the development of this new adaptation, which is going to be a spinoff at America's only college exclusively for young soups that is run by Vought International. It is described as an R-rated series that explores the lives of hormonal competitive soups as they put their physical, sexual, and moral boundaries to the test, competing for the best contracts in the best cities. What does this remind you of? Part college show, part Hunger Games, with all the heart, satire, and raunch of the Boys, Craig Rosenberg is writing the pilot and will serve as a showrunner. What does this remind you of, Lyndon?
This reminds me of Teen Titans and X-Men.
It reminds me of My Hero Academia.
Oh, I could buy that too. If you read the Boys comics, there's this group of kids called the Teenage Kicks. That is their teenage superhero team. That is a Teen Titans, X-Men, Young Avengers type. I think we're gonna see some of those storylines play out in this, since we haven't seen it in the show, since the show's going a little bit away from that. But this sounds interesting, man. I'm very excited. Look, the more Boys content, the better. The Boys has shown that it's a hit, and then we're getting the same team working on it, so I'm hyped.
Yeah, I really like that it's gonna still stay R-rated. We're really gonna like it's gonna be pretty out there. And the reason I give that My Hero Academia thoughts is that I'm thinking that there's gonna be like a tournament arc, kind of like your typical anime tournament arc, but like the best contracts in the best cities makes me think of same thing in My Hero Academia, where the heroes are looking to get contracts or internships they were going through to some of the best programs. So, I kind of feel like that's where this is kind of going to go. Then the Hunger Games element makes me think that there's going to be some kind of big tournament competing. I feel like there's going to be like a lot of competition involved, possibly deaths. But like, I do feel like it's going to have the same kind of what you're saying with Teen Titans, like how they react with one another and their connections and the seriousness of the tone.
I'm all for this. Like, give me a tournament arc, give me anime style stuff. Like, I'm all for all of this. Like, I think Amazon is doing the right thing. Amazon knows that The Boys is its most popular show and it's the biggest show. Let's make a spinoff. And I think a spinoff actually is necessary here, unlike in other places.
I feel like Amazon is going to take this, The Boys and Vought and all that and make its own universe out of it.
I'm down. I'm so down. Like, this is the Amazon-verse. Like, this is their superhero, and I'm glad that they're.
I like that they pretty much gave it its own name, the VCU.
Yeah, true. The Vault Cinematic Universe.
So, like, I feel like this is just the first step in that. I think what The Boys gives us is that perspective from like the humans, and it's still the still from the Soups too, but
they're more so the
Huey and the
antagonists.
gang. Yeah. They're fighting them as the antagonists, but here we're gonna get them as like we're rooting for them. I guess at this point they're the main characters. Maybe not rooting for them. I don't know.
And that's interesting because how at this point, as fans of the show, how are they going to expect us to root for the Soups? And that's going to be a very interesting conundrum they're faced with to see how they pull off. But I'm here for it, man. Give me more Boys content.
The thing that we come across in The Boys is that not every person's Homelander. You know what I'm saying?
Also, not every person, even in The Boys, not every person's good.
Well, and and what we've learned even in this season is let's save that
because I want to talk about that in this week's review.
Well, I'm just saying, like a character like Gecko, who we met in season 2. Not all superpowers are powerful, and not every super soup gets to be super powerful. And it's even in the season we met the guy who's pretty much like Green Arrow, and he's like the superhero of Columbus, and seeing the Deep end up going to where he goes to. I don't want to do too many spoilers for people who haven't watched all The Boys, but like each superhero reigns over a city, so now we're going to see how all of that comes into play and what kind of
Starlight was in a teen group
series.
We've heard
she was in a teen group.
We've heard that, so it's going to be interesting to see how they do this, but I'm all for it.
Well, let's talk about our one trailer of the week. Looks like it could be one that's going to be play for some Oscars. The Sound of, or just called Sound of Metal, starring Riz Ahmed.
It looks really good.
It does look really good. Riz Ahmed is pretty much a drummer, and he ends up losing his hearing, and it goes kind of through the struggles of what he goes to, like a deaf camp. I wouldn't say camp, but like support
like
group.
Yeah, like a getaway for like where deaf people can deal with like losing their hearing later in life or something along those lines. But it won an award at TIFF, I believe. It was already at TIFF for all these awards. It was an award. It was a indie award darling. So now it's about to get a wide release. It's going to be on Amazon as well as in theaters. So that tells me Amazon's trying to make it to the Oscar push.
Sure. I mean, from what we've seen from Amazon already and what I've seen from Amazon, even within the past year, having seen like Honey Boy, they're putting out really quality dramas on top of the television series that they're already doing.
I've been saying they're the best. It's them and HBO at the top in terms of quality.
So I believe that this could be something pretty big. And if Riz Ahmed doesn't win an Oscar, I hope that maybe he gets some recognition.
And look, I know we didn't talk about Riz Ahmed in our conversation of actors who got next, but like Riz Ahmed's up there. He's on that list.
He's up there. I mean, The Night Of was a phenomenal series. He did make it into a Star Wars movie.
Wasn't too big, but if this is successful, then like sky's the limit for him.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I feel like for him, he's in one of those more serious paths.
Yeah, he's not going to be doing too many more blockbusters.
I'm not saying like Riz Ahmed is going to be like popping up in like big franchises anymore, but I feel like he's going to be like the guy who does like, these big dramatic movies or HBO series. But, I'm for it because I think he's great.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. Next up, we got Samuel L. Jackson is set to reprise his role as Nick Fury in a new Marvel series currently in development at Disney+. We have learned the exact pilot details of the show are being kept under wraps, but multiple sources say Jackson is attached to star with Kyle Bradstreet, attached to write and executive produce. Like all other Marvel shows at Disney+, Marvel Studios will produce as well. Word on road is that it's going to deal with Sword. We're going to see the Sword. We could possibly maybe see the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. come into this, but it mainly is going to focus on Sword and the Kree wars that are coming up. This feels to me like they're setting up Secret Wars. This feels to me like they're setting up Secret Wars through all of this stuff going on, getting us ready for our next big event. And we've seen the Kree in Spider-Man Homecoming, and now we're going to probably see the Kree in this, as well as Sword, the United States, like, or the world of Earth's, like, defense against outer space and whatnot. So this is going to be interesting, but good for Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, Kyle Bradstreet is the guy who did a lot of work on Mr. Robot. So I feel like that gives me the sense that it is going to be a fairly seriously toned for Disney Plus, as much as you can for Disney Plus. But I mean, like, if Samuel L. Jackson's going to do it, I mean, Samuel L. Jackson ain't going to do any kiddie shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when I first saw this story, I was like, really? Are we going to do like a Nick Fury thing right now? Like, what really can we get out of this? But I feel like it is going to be a little bit of exposition. I don't really know how much of this is going to be like, oh yeah, that Nick Fury series was really badass.
Nah, it's more of like setup. Like, I feel like because Marvel has this streaming service, all those things that could have been in movies, like little side notes, they're just getting TV shows to be exposition.
Pretty much, yeah. I feel like this is like Marvel's opportunity to exactly what we're saying, like to provide exposition in between films.
Yeah.
And
what's really interesting is, are all the fans, like the casuals, like my girlfriend who followed the MCU, or like all these casual people gonna just like be able to follow along? Like, this is intense. Like, I'm for it. I'm down. But like, Marvel has hamstrung themselves to the fact to where every little thing connects. So it's like, if I miss out on WandaVision, then I won't know shit for Doctor Strange.
I almost feel like Disney Plus is like, hey, we're Disney Plus. At the end of the day, a lot of people are going to buy our streaming service just because we're Disney and they want the availability to Disney content. That we can get inside baseball for these specific niche series, because those people are going to buy the service for that. And if casual fans don't want to watch it, then they don't have to watch it.
They just miss out.
Well, no, I mean, not even missing out. Like, if they're just casual fans, and they're just going to watch the movies as they are. I mean, but the people who are going to be the diehard fans are the ones that are going to buy the service just for that.
True, but my question is, do the people who watch the movies understand everything that's going on?
I mean, I guess it could be a little bit difficult.
That's my only question.
If this one's going to provide so much exposition to be like, okay, well, they're going to walk into Sword and be like, or not Sword, but like walk into Eternals and be like, what the heck is Sword?
Or they'll walk into the Captain Marvel 2. Like, what the fuck is Sword? What's going on with the Kree?
Especially like, when we get down the line to Doctor Strange, like if they hadn't seen WandaVision, they're going to be like, well, what is all this with Scarlet Witch? Like,
yeah.
So
like
I don't know.
She's evil? Like what? So it's going to be interesting to see. It's interesting that DC and Marvel are on two separate paths to where Marvel's so hamstrung to their connectivity and DC has an opposite problem. DC's problem is going to be when people go see that Flash movie and they see Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck, they're going to be like, huh? 2 Batmen? And then they go see Robert Pattinson in a couple months. Like, huh? A third? How does all this work? It's a multiverse. What the fuck is a multiverse? So, like, that's DC's problem. Whereas Disney and Marvel's is like, did you catch the Hawkeye series with Kate Bishop, this girl who's now in Young Avengers movie? It's two different like scenarios that they've put themselves in, but I think both is very interesting for some of the content we're going to get going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm more excited to see like what comes out of this whole pandemic, post-pandemic, because like it seems like we're going to be, spitting out. It almost seems like it's going to be like year-round Marvel content all the time. Like,
it's coming because a lot of stuff's going to be in the can by the time next week.
8 weeks of TV series movie. 8 weeks of TV series movie.
I could see it being something like that, especially since like everything's going to be ready by next year. A lot of shit is at least. But next up, the final story we got today, the Borat sequel is apparently titled Borat, Gift of Pornography, Monkey to Vice Premier, Mikhail Pence to Make Benefit, Recently Dismissed Nation of Kazakhstan.
Yeah,
that's
Borat, Gift of Pornographic Monkey to Vice Premier, Mikhail Pence to Make Benefit, Recently Diminished Nation of Kazakhstan.
What a title.
So he's going to make
a porno
to premiere to Mike Pence.
Oh, I get it. Is that?
Please God, have Mike Pence be in this and him show him some kind of porno. I will lose my shit. I think that'd be the most hilarious thing ever.
I didn't even think about it because I was like Pence, but then I saw Mikhail. I was like, oh, that's something different. But no, if that's it, then
that's it. That's exactly who you think it is. Like,
look, I'm gonna watch it. This sounds hilarious. Go Borat.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. And what if like you said when Sacha Baron Cohen was going around to all these different shits?
That's exactly what that was.
He got some footage of Pence. And it's like, leave me the fuck alone.
No, that's exactly what happened.
I'm down.
So put this out.
Hell yeah. But that's all the news stories we got this week. Let's get into the movie on the rise.
All right. So for my movie on the rise, I had 2 things. I mentioned it a little bit last week, but South Park's going to have that COVID special that comes out on Tuesday, I believe, Tuesday or Wednesday. And it's going to be a 1-hour deal where they kind of like address what's been going on, which we all kind of need that at this point. We want to know what Trey Parker and Matt Stone have been putting together while they've been in quarantine. Because I'm sure like that's the one thing I thought about while COVID has been going on is like those guys pretty much do that in their home anyway. Yeah. So I'm sure that they've been able to like put some stuff together and they've had plenty of content. So
it's going to be interesting. I'm ready. Like we need South Park more than ever right now.
For sure. So I think that in an hour they could cover pretty much a lot. They'll probably cover a lot of the COVID stuff. And I think since we're a month away from the election, they'll probably get into some election stuff.
Probably see some Black Lives Matter stuff too.
Oh, no doubt.
Like
no doubt.
We need all of that. So dope. Spouse March. That's this Tuesday or this Wednesday. Or one of them.
One of the 2. Yeah.
All right. And I'm excited for that.
The other thing I have on here is I mentioned it earlier on in the show that I had a television show that was horror based that I was interested in, and it's on Hulu. It's called Monsterland, and it's pretty much like an anthology season of TV where each episode is like its own story, and they're based on different locations. A couple of them are in Louisiana, and they all have different actors that you would recognize. Like, let me pull that up real quick. Like Caitlin Deaver's in the first episode, the chick from Booksmart.
Okay.
My bad.
Oh, no, you good.
The wrong thing. Monsterland. Yeah, it's got. Oh man, they're not even gonna give me the whole cast, are they? They're gonna keep that under wraps because you gotta watch like every episode because every episode is somebody different. Deaver, Taylor Schilling from Orange is the New Black.
So they got a good cast of people, is what you're telling me.
They just got all sorts of people in it because each episode's different, you know. So
okay.
I think that's gonna be like a good thing for people like me who may not be able to do the whole horror thing, but can take it in like short bites. But that's going to premiere on Friday on Hulu. So if you're getting ready for your horror bag, this could be the time. And this could be one of the shows that you want to check out.
Hell yeah. The show I have this week, we've talked about it before on this pod, Utopia, the new Amazon series. Utopia is a conspiracy thriller that follows a group of young fans who come together when they discover that the conspiracy in a lucid comic, Utopia, is real. The comic foretells the demise of humanity in the world as we know it, thrusting this group of underdogs to embark on a high-stakes, twisted adventure to use what they uncover to save themselves, each other, and ultimately humanity. Some people in the cast include John Cusack, Rainn Wilson, Ashley Lathorpe, Jessica Roth, and Desmond Borge. But the main two people that you guys know is... excuse me, is Rainn Wilson from The Office and John Cusack, who we haven't seen from for a while. So interesting to see this. It's out now. All 8 episodes are out. And by next Bros Who Binge, I'll let you know what I think of it. But Utopia, I'm excited.
Yeah, when I saw the little trailer they had for this episode of The Boys, I was like, damn, that's pretty interesting. And actually in my boys' notes, that's the first thing I wrote. I was like, Utopia looks cool.
Yeah, it does. I'm excited to check this out. All right, but that's all we got this week for Movie on the Rise. All right, where are we going first? Are we doing the draft or are we doing the draft last? Let's do the draft last.
Let's do the draft last. So first we're going to talk about Avatar.
All right, yeah, we could knock Avatar and Lovecraft both out. I don't have a lot to say about Lovecraft, if I'm being honest.
Like, it was pretty wild.
I don't know what the fuck happened, but let's get Avatar first.
So the episodes that we're addressing in Avatar are Nightmares and Daydreams, The Day of Black Sun Part 1, The Day of Black Sun Part 2, and Western Air Temple.
Okay, so we didn't go to okay, cool. I'm glad because when I saw 2 episodes happen in The Day of Black Sun, I was like, that means we're not going to the Firebender Masters. So no. Fire. But if you're on Netflix, we're reviewing episodes 9, 10, and 11. So all right. Nine's just a freaking filler. Even though it's like
it's some BS.
It's just Aang realizing like I can't sleep and I can't get to the Avatar state. Just nervous. So that's all.
He's nervous, and he's he's coming to a realization that like maybe he's not necessarily ready to fight the Fire Lord. I mean, like if you think about it,
that's the thing.
If you think about it, like
the plan was for him to learn everything.
He doesn't know
firebending.
He doesn't know firebending. He doesn't know much about who the Fire Lord is or anything about him, except some of the things that he learned from Roku, which isn't much in comparison, like who this Fire Lord is. So he needs a little bit more time, but he doesn't have it. The best part of this episode is when Momo and Appa are having a samurai battle.
Yeah, and they start talking to his ass. All right, episode 10, The Day of Black Sun. With the day of the eclipse upon them, the kids, along with their ragtag force of old friends, enact their plan of the invasion of the Fire Nation. But when they get there, no one is there. Also, side story, Zuko confronts his dad because he now realizes that his path is not with the Fire Nation. The first thing I noticed, young Haru. Haru was back, baby. He's got a little goatee action. I didn't notice that when I was young watching this. I was like, yo, look, Katara's man glowed up on him a little bit.
No, they even say it when Sokka's trying to like give the speech to talk about the battle plans. He's like, oh, well, let me start from the beginning. And then he's like, blah, blah, blah. And like, Haru's got a mustache now, or Haru's got a beard now. And what's up with that?
That shit was hilarious. But it just shows how much they've progressed. That's what this episode was. This episode to me was like how far we've gone. We look back through all these people. We see how far we've come, but then we still realize how far we still must go.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm bringing back a lot of the old people, at least when we were watching this live, it was like, man, like we haven't seen, the guys from the Eastern or the West, the Eastern Air or the Northern Air.
The Northern Air Temple,
in so long. And, we get a little insight on like the stuff that Sokka had the inventor work on, the submarines that they end up using. And
then his plans for the blimps and all that, they jacked that too.
Yeah, we find that in the second part after they, do the counterattack, but it all doesn't end up as planned in the second part. Aang, Toph, and Sokka go into like the tunnels to go search for the Fire Lord.
Don't find
Zuko.
him. Find Azula.
Yeah, find Azula, battle Azula. Azula gets the best of them because she's just pretty much just taunting them.
She got her Dai Li agents there waiting for him. She was ready for their ass. She knew this was coming. Azula just being a bad bitch that she is. She already knew it was up. And then Zuko,
Sokka being like, "Oh yeah, your girl gave up on you." She's like, "Oh, he was gonna save me, and then he never came."
Yep, and then Zuko, doesn't he deflect lightning in this one? He deflects his dad's lightning. He's like, "Wow, gotcha, pops. Learned that from Uncle. I'm out here."
Well, and it's finally a fruition because if you go back to like what he learned in that episode when he was learning about the lightning, is that he had to become like balanced within himself to be able to do that.
And by him telling his dad what he felt, he became balanced with himself.
Exactly. So like that's a big crucial moment for Zuko.
But then they leave all the old people.
Yeah, all the old people leave and all the young people go.
All the old people stay behind to be captured.
I was like, my big Are We Sure moment is like, oh, so they're just gonna all take you prisoner after you just like attack them? Like
in real life, they would have died.
Like,
in real life, they would have died.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, you think they're just gonna burn you? You're like, that's a big master plan. It's like, oh, all the kids go. Like, we'll just turn ourselves in. Like, they're not gonna do anything to us. Like,
it's okay. That's where we find out. There's certain moments where we're like, oh, this is a Nickelodeon show. That's one of those for sure. But so then they leave, and then it's like back to plan one. Sokka and them are like, we're gonna just try to figure to teach you firebending before the comet. That's the plan again. It's back to square one.
That's the plan. But they have to figure out who's gonna be that teacher.
And then we find out in the next episode. Well, we got it glimpsed.
They go to the Western Air Temple, which I always thought was kind of cool because it's like that upside down temple on a cliff. And Zuko with his dumbass speech, "Hey, Zuko here. I'm sorry that I attacked you.
I tried to kill y'all." But Zuko joins the gang. And also they fight Sparky Boom Man and beat his ass.
Well, that's kind of how Zuko ends up gaining their trust, is because he ends up slipping to them that he sent him, and then he burns Toph's feet and stuff like that. But after he like helps him fight Combustion Man or whatever, he becomes part of the team. But what we'll learn sooner or later is that he has his own little issues with his firebending.
Yeah, it's not. He can't do it anymore because it's about anger. But we'll see more of that next week when we get to one of my favorite episodes, the Firebending Masters.
So overall from these 4 episodes, the first invasion didn't go as planned, and that was the one that's pretty much been planned for a long time. I remember thinking when this is coming through, I was like, man, we're already at the end of the show. Like, this is it.
No,
because like this was the big battle.
It's still this was the second plan, if we want to be honest. The first plan was originally Aang learn all the 4 elements, go beat the Fire Lord. This was like, and it just shows that Sokka shouldn't have went to attain the knowledge of the library, and it didn't end up working out for him. Like the fucking God said, the God was like, this won't work out for you in the end. And he was like, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. And it ended up not working for him.
And plus, like, you have to suspect that if
they know,
if the Fire Nation knows that they're going to lose their powers during an eclipse, then like, why
would they just chill?
Why would they just chill and wait on that? Like, it's so stupid.
Yep. So
anyway,
that's all we got for Avatar. Let's get to Lovecraft. This is Hippolytus episode. Again, like I said, I don't know what the hell was going on. All I know is Tick and Letty might have a baby coming.
She's pregnant.
Yeah, she's definitely preggers. And Tick called his dad a bad word. His dad got really mad at him. That was a really powerful scene. I was like, whoa. And then he finds out about his family, and he finds out that about his cousin that was alive, but she's not anymore. And they're looking for this book of names that they feel that his relative took. And then Hippolyta opens the little, I forget what that thing's called.
I don't remember what it's called either, but like the gold thing with all the planets, yeah.
Yeah, she gets a key, and then she goes to this place in Kansas. Tick ends up meeting her there. She opens this portal way.
Well, like Tick figures out, it's like, oh shit, that lady went to go
she's
to the
in
coordinates.
danger. And then so they go to the coordinates. They open this like portal thing. They throw a cop in the portal who's dead now, and then they shoot another cop. And then Hippolyta and Tick both get absorbed in the portal. We don't know what happens to Tick, but he comes back and he has the Lovecraft actual book in real life, and that's pretty much Tick's storyline for the episode. But Hippolyta
It said George Freeman on it.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know if that's the real writer, and I don't think that's the real writer in real life. I think that was just like another timeline where Uncle George wrote these stories. But and then Hippolyta goes through like this weird adventure of learning about how she needs to be free. It's like this conversation for Black women about how they need to liberate and like take on who they truly are, and not be subservient to society, to the men that they love or whatever it is. And it was just a big journey of that. But we see like the Amazons of real life, or like one of the people who like the group of people that could have been considered the Amazons, one of the groups. And then we see some
with her in France with like the dancers.
Yeah, with Josephine Barker, I think that's her name. And then we see her as the comic that her daughter created.
That's what I didn't catch that.
That's the only thing I knew was going on. That's the only thing. Because other than that, I don't know what the fuck, who those Steven Universe ladies were. I don't know who those Steven Universe alien were. That was Garnet, bro. with the big hair.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like to me that when she gets sucked in that portal or whatever and goes to that, you know,
dimension, space,
dimension,
wherever she was at,
that is kind of like them latching on to her as the person who pretty much, she opened the portal. So she's the one that they probably have like a lot of, like, they revere and respect. And they're like, well, we're going to give her an opportunity to figure herself out. And so like she kind of figures out the whole deal and ends up like going on her own sort of journey. And I feel like, you know, the social commentary in that is something that can speak to, you know, lots of people. And like I've, you know, that's just a lot to go through in itself with each little element of the space, the journey that she takes along this way.
Neither of us are Black women, so like,
yeah. I mean, I even think it, you know, could go for women in general, and you know, and just the idea of you know, figuring out who you are and yourself, and like stepping out and doing that for yourself,
you, and not for anybody else. Your kids,
and not for anybody else.
Your man,
your kids,
the world,
your man.
Whoever.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought it was a pretty interesting episode.
Interesting episode to come. Like, okay, I feel like.
Well, you know, my big thing, what I'm trying to get to is like at the very end where she's kind of like, oh, well, I need to go back to Earth for my daughter, or I could stay here and become like one of the beings. Like, I'm just wondering like what is happening with that. Like, is she ending up staying and being one of the beings, or is she going to go back? Well, she said she was going back, but the only person who came out of the portal was Tick.
Yeah, but they might. But see, I think it's different. I think they're gonna send her own way.
Maybe so. And like my whole thing with that too is like, where the hell did Tick go?
We'll probably find that out soon enough.
Like that's got to be like something that happens in the next episode or something. But I mean, we're running low on episodes, right?
We got 3 left.
So like, you know, you can't have a whole other episode talking about what Tick did.
I think Tick's episode is gonna be the penultimate. I think Tick's gonna get his own episode by himself. The second to last episode.
He's damn near had his own episode last week.
Last week was not his episode. Last week was the Korean lady's episode.
For sure, but I mean, like that was, you know,
it was him,
about Tick.
But I'm saying like he's gonna get like a Tick-centric episode. I feel like that's coming. Penultimate episode, like
maybe
no side character, just Tick. At least I want it. But like, you know, solid week in Lovecraft. Like I said, I wish we could give y'all more commentary. I just don't know what the fuck was going on. And I don't know what the fuck wild. We go from here. Like, geez. But all right, let's get to the boys. Lamplighter. Who do you think Lamplighter is? Because I've seen people say he's like the amount. I feel, and this is what I think. Some people said he was Green Lantern. Some people said he's Firestorm. I think he's a mixture of Green Lantern and Firestorm, because I feel like the fact he had a lamp. Like Green Lanterns have lamps.
He's pretty much fire version of Iceman.
He's Firestorm. He's Firestorm in Green Lantern. That's what I feel, you know. But he can't fly. But it was cool seeing him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's got nothing, dude. All he's got is like, oh, give me this little lighter. Like that's all he's got, dude. He ain't got nothing. I ain't worried about that guy.
Fire part of the episode, but I think there's multiple parts we got to talk about. Let's talk about.
All right. Well, let's kind of go from the beginning here, because I took notes during this because I watched on Friday. You know, 8 years ago, Frenchie is Betty White. That's why my first note, I was laughing at that with this whole Golden Girls thing. But I love the whole Frenchie backstory in this episode because we really got to know a lot about the team.
See, and this show shows this episode cemented for me. I love Kimiko. I love Frenchie. I love Mother's Milk, and I love Huey, and I love Butcher. But you see, coming out of season 1, we don't know really Frenchie, Mother's Milk, or Kimiko really. And Mother's Milk, we got some stuff from him exposition, but we don't really know his true backstory. But I think it's enough. But I think this season made us fall in love with the whole team. Where season 1, you might have loved those dudes, but you don't really know them. But you really love Butcher and Huey. This just made me love Frenchie, man. Like everything. The reason why he's trying to save Kimiko because he's trying to repent for his sins because he didn't save Mallory's children, who the CIA officer that was a part of their team because Lamplighter killed him because Frenchie went to go save his friend who ended up ODing. But lo and behold, his friend died in 2 months. His friend lived and then just died 3 months later. And that I feel like that's a commentary on just drugs and addiction. As much as you want to save them, it's up to them to save themselves. Which I thought was very, very well played out. They didn't even have to say it, but it just worked. And I think Starlight questioning Butcher, calling him a racist. That was big. That was big points too, because why do you hate her?
Well, racist against Soups, I guess.
Yeah, but he's a bigot. He still is. It doesn't matter if it's anything. Like, why do you hate her? You hate her because it's something she can't control because of the blood in her. And I think we see a big changing moment for Butcher because, people may say he didn't do it because of Huey. I don't think he did that. I think he did it because of changing him, where he was going to shoot Starlight, but he doesn't, and he clicks the safety back on. I thought the Frenchie part and that part were two huge parts of this episode.
For sure.
For characterization of the boys, at least.
Going through some of the more notes I have here, I was like, removing that chip was gross in the beginning.
Yeah.
Why would you do petty crimes in this world? Homelander and Stormfront fuck up that dude in the alley, and then
have sex. Yeah, with his blood on their face. They're fucking gross. They are nasty.
But seriously though, why would you do petty crimes in this world?
I would never.
There's so many superheroes.
It's not like DC where they beat your ass and then take you to jail. No, these people kill you.
Yeah.
Like, I would not be a criminal. Unless you're like Frenchie, where you can make like a Xanax bomb that stops the Hulk from hulking. That's essentially what Frenchie did. That's why Frenchie's a badass, dude. Like, Frenchie made a fucking Xanax bomb.
I love that scene where he gets recruited and she's like, yeah, so like you did this, and like I'm like, damn, this dude's a badass.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, if Frenchie's on the squad for a reason. The only person who's on the squad that shouldn't be is Huey.
Really? Yeah, for sure.
Like, Huey's only there to contain Butcher's anger. That's the only fucking reason why. But
did we ever fully discover what sketchy shit the Deep is up to? Or I guess we did. The Deep went to get the camera.
I thought you were talking about the church. Of the incident with Maeve in season 1.
From Incident Maeve in season 1, and then that's a short thing we can wrap up. Like her girl ends up seeing it, and she's like, "Oh, I want to take it to the CIA."
My girlfriend had walked in 2 scenes before, and she's watching this, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, "Yo, this bitch better not say anything." And she's like, "Why?" I was like, "Yo, if this bitch says something, she's going to die in 2 episodes. Like, she better not say a word about anything to Maeve or about Homeland. Like, if she would have left Maeve in that instance, she was dead." She did the right thing by just shutting up and just looking sad.
For sure.
Because I was like, oh, this bitch is done for. She's toast. Let her walk out this room. Homelander's going to zap her ass out of existence.
For sure. But I mean, like, I think that's so dumb of Maeve. Like, what do you think, that he really going to give a shit? Like,
I don't like, okay, let me be honest.
It makes you look bad.
Maeve has the worst storyline of the heroes. She has to. Like, even Black Noir, like, I'm more interested in knowing about a man who doesn't talk and like figuring out why he doesn't talk, because I think he's a zombie, but I digress. Or something. He's something. We got to figure that shit out. That's probably a season 3 question, but I just don't like this Maeve storyline. Like, I just don't like, I don't know. They need to give her something more to do. I don't know. We not whatever, but
I mean, like, I just feel like she's just very unlikable. Like, there's nothing I really am rooting for her. Like, I'm rooting for like her girlfriend. Just like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, but like, she can't leave or she'll die.
Pretty much.
I was just like, just be quiet, lady. Just sit. If I was her, I would just look at Maeve and discuss all day long. Like,
but then
not give her the coochie. Like, May, if you want this, no.
so like the Deep
no.
goes and gets this camera for her, and then the Deep runs into A Train. And it's like, yo, A Train.
They're gonna be into some shit. Like,
A Train, I know how you feel, bro. I was out of the 7-2. Come have lunch with me,
church.
bro. Come to my church. Have a fresca.
And they go to the church. Yeah, what's up with the frescoes, bro? Like, that shit's weird.
There's something in the frescoes.
They go to the church and they're talking, and then we're about to have like Deep tells him like, yo, I fucking hated you. I wanted to drown, but it's okay. I'm getting this truth out of now. And Adrian's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? I watched the documentary on you people. And then the man's like, oh, but you're 7 figures in debt. You're addicted and you have heart problems. And Adrian's like, whoa, how you know all this? And I'm like, damn, how did church know all this? Like, church, like, we got our connections. It's gonna be interesting, man. This church storyline is crazy. Like, I gotta know what happens with this church.
I thought that shit was hilarious too with the Deep, where he's like, "Oh yeah, I feel like you just hate me or whatever, or like I hate you or something like that." I don't remember what it was all about. A Train did not like his A Train anthem.
No, I didn't.
He was not feeling that white boy's rap.
I wasn't feeling either. And then they were like, "No, this is just the ghostwritten version for Lil Nas X," and I was like.
I didn't catch that the first time.
I was laughing my ass off at that. I was like, if I was Lil Nas X, I'd be pissed that they said my name in this shit. It's like I get ghostwritten for.
Side note, though, there was something that Lil Nas X like retweeted or whatever with the Shia LaBeouf thing that was like not his song or whatever, and like I was glad that people were like tweeting and be like, all right, just so you know, like this is the guy's song. Like, don't let Lil Nas X fool you with his bullshit.
He was doing the he retweeted Chrissa.
Was it Chrissa's?
It was Chrissa. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying. Like it was that was where I saw it, because I was like, and I don't know if it was Chrissa's song, but it was like something Chrissa had retweeted.
It was a Louis. No, okay, so Chrissa made a video of Shia LaBeouf dancing and smoking. To Fox, a Louisiana rapper song, and then Lil Nas X like took the video and retweeted and was like trying to make it like his song, but
exactly, and that was some BS. So cancel Lil Nas X, but
nah, we're not canceling Lil Nas X. Oh shit.
But yeah, so I said the crew is back on a mission. So we got this mission where they're going into this like mental hospital that they think, and we find all of these superheroes that are
find all these test subjects
pretty much. Yeah, so these people who have been given Compound V as adults that we come to find.
Some people it worked, some people it didn't, some people they died, they turned crazy. And we find out from Lamplighter that this is for them to stabilize Compound V. And we're like, why does Vault want to stabilize Compound V? But we find out why later in the episode from Storm.
So, while our crews go into that mental hospital, Homelander is trying to impress his new girl, Stormfront, and he's like, I got a surprise for you, baby. Come to my trailer. She's like, nah, I gotta go get talk to my
Vault. I gotta go talk to Mr. Edgar.
I gotta go. And then so this dude goes back into his trailer and he got her flowers. What a loser. I was like, what a loser surprise.
And
like,
I thought in my head, I was like, even if Stormfront went in there and saw them flowers, she'd have been like, you bought that for me? She'd have laughed. Like, I don't think she would have liked him.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, what a loser. And then, that whole thing where he like burns down the trailer or whatever because he's so upset. I was like, this dude's so moody.
Because he went to Vault and found her ass not there. He was like, what? Why you lying to me, girl? Where you been at?
Which is important. And we'll talk about that.
See, I think that still matters. I think no matter what we talk about at the end, I think Homelander's going to turn on her. I feel it coming. Like they're building it up. Like he doesn't take well to breakups. Like he does not. He killed that lady last season. He gonna kill this bitch this season. And even later in the episode, he talks about, I've been thinking how to break your ass. And I feel like when she was about to, if she didn't interrupt him, I feel like he was gonna say, oh, and I figured it out too, bitch.
Yeah, I felt like that shit was coming like in this episode if it wasn't for like the bomb that she drops on.
Yeah, she saved her. She saved herself.
But so she goes to the mental hospital or whatever, and she's been behind this whole thing the whole time. She ends up like having an encounter with one of the people, and
Lamplighter.
Lamplighter smokes him.
Yeah, burns him because they got to destroy all evidence.
Yeah, so
she dips out.
So before we find out all of the history between Lamplighter and the boys, which he was a part of their crew, but he was pretty much like
he was part of the 7.
Yeah, he was a part of 7, but like they
had recruited him to do stuff for him because they had blackmailed
him.
It was pretty much what happened in last season, how they were digging up dirt on the Supes.
Yeah, and so like they got him to like do some stuff for him, but he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna like smoke this lady and her kids anyway."
Well, he was trying to smoke her, not the kids.
Yeah.
So, but he smoked the kids, and Frenchie couldn't save the kids because of what he was doing, saving his friend. The boys Mallory hadn't spoken to him since, and the boys had always gave him shit because of that. And then when MM found out, he was like, "Why didn't you tell us?" And he was like, "I didn't want to know. I didn't want you to know." And I thought that was a very powerful scene. And we see Kimiko looking at him like, "Damn, maybe I should start talking to you again, Frenchie."
Yeah.
And I loved it. I was like, "Yes, y'all need to be friends again." Like, I hate that y'all aren't talking. But exactly, I like that Kimiko had that she bought herself a diamond-studded brass knuckle. I thought that was badass. And she does, and she just wipes it off. And like, fuck you, Frenchie. And I just thought that was fucking hilarious. But yeah, so all these test subjects break out. And the girl who just does her hand like this and that dude's head exploded, literally right when that happened, I said, "Oh shit." And then 2 seconds later, Mother's Milk was like, "Oh shit." I was like, "Yes, thank you. That is a proper reaction."
Oh man. And so like we had a lot.
Dick guy, yo! My girlfriend walked in the house when Dick guy had his dick around Mother's Milk neck, and she was like, "What is that? Is that his arm?" I was like, "No, that's his fucking dick." And she was
At first I thought it was a tongue, and then I was like, and then it was the dick guy. I was like, damn.
My girl was like, "He has a super dick." I was like, "Yeah."
And then there was the guy who burped up the bile or whatever, and then burped it in his face, and his face just like acid.
He seemed like he seemed like one of the failed test subjects.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Dick guy could have been a hero.
Dick guy. Oh shit. So then they have an encounter with the Frenchie and Lamplighter go back and forth about like what happened between them. And then Stormfront goes into the building as they're trying to escape. Lamplighter covers for them and then helps the boys get out. And then that's the end of really Frenchie and them inside the thing. But one of the prisoners escaped and did a sound wave clash that made the van flip over, and Huey got like a bone stuck. Was that one of his bones protruding out, or was that something that pierced his ass?
I think it was something that pierced him.
Okay. I was confused the whole time with that. I was like, is that Huey's bone? So then Starlight and Butcher have to put aside their problems, and then they find out over the car ride that they're more alike than they seem. And the reason that they're so alike, they realize that, man, Huey loves both of us, but we don't deserve Huey because we're both shitty people. I thought that was interesting, that Huey's girlfriend is just like Huey's mentor. They're very similar.
Yeah, and she ends up killing a guy. And so I put in my notes, Starlight is hardened.
Yeah. Starlight been hard.
The one thing, like, remember we were talking about Elena and Maeve? Yeah. Like, she kept asking her if she wanted sugarfish or whatever. They kept talking about sugarfish, and I was like, I don't think Elena wants sugarfish anymore.
Elena don't want shit to do with your ass.
My are we sure that I had was, are we sure that the crew got out of the hospital without Stormfront noticing and Lamplighter?
Okay, well, you got to think that she said she was going to check the grounds, and then I'm sure that they wouldn't have left until they saw her leave. That's how I looked at it, but that's just like TV show shenanigans. But yeah, so they escape. Lamplighter, and while Huey and them are in the hospital, Lamplighter and Kimiko, Mother's Milk, and Frenchie call up Mallory. Mallory then goes to confront him, trying to kill him. Frenchie tells him that it would be bad for him. That would be bad for her. It wouldn't help her feel better. It wouldn't bring her kids back, and we should use what he knows to our advantage. And Mallory's like, all right, bet. We're going to do that. So now they have Lamplighter working for them again. And then the episode ends with the bombshell of, we found out that Stormfront she might not be the first person to get Compound V, even though she says it, because I feel like Soldier Boy also is one of the first people. She's one of the first test subjects that Vought did. She was really Vaught's wife. She's been alive since 1919. She was the hero Liberty, and she's trying to create a master race of superhumans to destroy all the other races, because Stormfront is a Nazi.
She was a Nazi.
And she's racist, and we've been saying it.
Old boy from VOD is a Nazi.
All Nazis, baby. Stormfront is super racist, and she was like, but we want you to be our leader, Homelander. And me and you were talking about this off air. I don't think Homelander is racist. I think she's using the fact that Homelander thinks he's better than everybody to take over this cause. Because, like, I feel like Homelander hates everybody. He just hates humans.
Where I was thinking about
Whereas
this is
Stormfront's 1,000% racist, like, for sure.
Well, what I also feel like is like it goes into like a commentary of like, what is the true American? And so Homelander is supposed to be like this true American. And like, I feel like Homelander is like, oh, so you want to just kill like, people that like America already doesn't like really like get on with. So like, oh, because I'm already out here killing all the terrorists in the Middle East or whatever, like he's trying to portray. So he's like, oh, well, I'll just go ahead and kill for y'all because like whatever.
And she's like, yeah, so I told you the truth. And then, like, they fuck again. And then the episode ends. So, yeah, man, we find out Stormfront's a Nazi, big shit. And then I still think, I'm 100% sure Homelander's going to kill her. Because I don't think you drop that bomb of him saying, oh, I've been thinking how to penetrate your skin all day long. Like, I don't think you drop that in there without him killing her. And I think that happens at the end of the season. But solid episode from the boys. I can't wait for next week. Next week,
definitely.
Next week they find out they capture Starlight because Starlight, and they said it the whole episode. Ashley was like, "Where the fuck is Starlight?" And they couldn't find her, and she took that chip out. So they know her ass a mole, and Stormfront go snitch on her ass to Homelander because they're lovebirds.
I'm surprised she hasn't already.
And Butcher even realized that he was fucking her. Butcher was like, "They're fucking."
Oh yeah. When they were watching the TV, they're like, "Oh yeah, they're fucking."
Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting scene. But solid week from the boys this week, man. Solid week. All right, let's get
we can definitely see the writing on the walls for this season moving forward with our last few episodes.
Yep. So I think
for the battle.
I like your prediction of Homelander becomes disgraced and Vought has to get a new poster boy, so they bring in their classic hero, Soldier Boy. That's
because this dude out here trying to be a Nazi, and they're be like, we can't be associated with you. You're a fucking Nazi now.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how they move forward. But let's get to our draft. All right, we're drafting our Justice League. Flip a coin. Yeah, flip a coin. See who gets picked first.
All right, I'll go with tails. Oop, hold on, I gotta reflip that.
Yeah, bad flip, brother. That
was some bad flip. Oh, let me get a new coin.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. Bad flipping.
All right, it's head, so you can pick first.
Are we okay, so I was thinking about this. Are we doing I pick first, and since you pick second, do you pick first in the next round? And then we do the back-to-back thing? All right, cool. All right. Fuck, I didn't want to pick first because I wanted you to have the conundrum of if you're going to take Batman. Oh, fuck. All right. All right, so I'm drafting a Justice League. A Justice League has to be able to defend aliens. It needs a leader. And to me, even though Batman's my favorite hero, I think a Justice League needs... Oh, fuck me, bro. Am I taking Batman? Gosh, am I taking fucking Batman first? I'm taking Superman first, man. I'm taking Superman and nixing my opportunity to take Batman. I will not have Batman on my Justice League, but that is okay because I will have a leader of this team. And yes, Superman is not my leader. Superman's just my big gun. So I'm taking Superman first.
Okay, well, I'm taking Batman.
All right, lit.
Because, I feel like you need a leader. No, I feel like when it comes to the Justice League, and we'll get through this when we're doing it, is, you need to have a leader that's kind of like the guy who kind of brings everything, gets everything going. I feel like you definitely need a space entity. So like that's why with my second pick, I'm going to go with Green Lantern.
Which one? Because I know we have a rule that once you take one, but I'm gonna say that's a caveat because there's multiple. So which one? I need a which one because I might take a Green Lantern as well. I haven't decided yet.
Well, I'll take Hal.
All right, you're taking Hal. Okay, cool. So that means I'm about to pick back-to-back, which is lit. So your team right now is Hal and Batman. My team is Superman, and my real leader, and I know Batman fans, don't take my Batman card because I just couldn't take because Batman's my favorite character, but if you're making a Justice League, you have to have someone that can fight Darkseid, and that is Superman. So the leader of my team is someone who has been Batman, someone who is Bruce has said he's the better man of him, and Bruce has been training him to lead the Justice League since he was 9 years old. I am taking Dick Grayson Nightwing to be my leader of the Justice League. I don't get Batman. I get someone that is a little more less about vigilance and less aggressive, and someone that can be more of a team player. We've seen him lead a team, and Batman has even said multiple times that you are the future. You're the person that's going to lead this team, and he has trained Dick for this moment, and it's Dick's time. Dick is my leader, and the next person I'm taking on my team is my second in command, because Superman is not. Superman is my tank. But my next person is someone who they've just said in the comics should be standing in Brian Everett Hill's run of Batman and the Outsiders. He said that this character should be standing next to Superman and Wonder Woman in terms of strength. I'm taking Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning.
That's a good one.
Yep, that's my second in command. Him and Dick get along really well. They can lead strategies together. And when Dick gets too Batman-ish, Jefferson can pull him back to the light.
So you should have 3 right now, huh?
I have 3. I have Superman, Nightwing, and Black Lightning.
All right. For me, I feel like, you need to have a leader, you need to have a space entity, and you need to have someone who can face magic. And so for me, I'm taking Zatanna.
Nice. I like that.
Since I'm taking back to back here, the next one I'm going to go is you need a tank, like you said. And with a team that doesn't have Superman, you need someone who is Superman-esque. So I'm taking Billy Batson, Shazam.
Ooh, I didn't know if you were going to go with Supergirl. Okay. All right, my back-to-back pick is lit because you didn't take who I wanted you to. All right, so I got my tank, Superman. I got my leader, Nightwing. I got my backup leader, my vice captain, Black Lightning, who also is very tankish, who can be super strong. The next one I feel every Justice League needs a speedster. And since Schubert didn't take a speedster, I'm going for the strongest one, baby. I want Wally West Flash. It works so because Wally and Dick are friends. Wally is the strongest Flash. I'm going with Wally West Flash as my 4th. And then I need some ladies up on this team. So Schubert took Zatanna, which is shitty. Damn. Let me look at my poster. Fuck. And I can't take Wonder Woman. Gosh. Damn. I'm kind of at a loss right here. So I got Superman, Nightwing, Black Lightning, Wally West Flash. I'm going to say my young boy now. My young boy is actually a young girl. In my team, I'm adding another super strong person, a space entity. I'm taking Starfire.
Okay.
So Starfire, and she listens to the leader. Like she has a connection with my leader. If you notice, my team all have connections with the leader. Nightwing respects Superman. They have a relationship. Nightwing has a relationship with Black Lightning. Nightwing has a relationship with Wally West Flash, and Nightwing has a relationship with my young boy or young girl, Starfire. So I have 5. 2 left. Damn, I got to think careful.
You have 2 left. I got 3 left.
Yeah.
It's hard because you want to kind of take in to account the people you already have and their associations, because you don't want to put in someone from a JLA perspective who hasn't worked with any of these people or is out of timeline a little bit. So I guess I agree with you that you do need to have a speedster. So since you took Wally, I'm going to go ahead and take Barry.
All right.
And with my 6th one, I'm going to save. Yeah. So who'd you just get? You just got Starfire, huh?
I took Starfire as my rookie.
Starfire is your rookie. So for me, I think. See, I already have Bruce Wayne, so I don't feel like I need to get a Ray Palmer or anything like that.
Where you going, brother? Where you going?
It's hard, man. It's real hard when it comes down to it. You already took Black Lightning, which would have been solid.
I did. Black Lightning was always going to be a top draft pick for me.
I guess I'm going to go with I'm going to take a young boy-ish, and I'm gonna go with Victor Stone.
Nice,
Cyborg.
Nice. That pick determined where I was gonna go next. Okay, lit. So that's your 2 picks. You got 1 left.
Yeah.
All right, so these are my final 2. Since Schubert took Victor Stone, I feel that the Justice League needs a command center person. Someone that can fix tech, someone that can be up in the watchtower, someone that can be the eyes behind the board. And because he took Victor Stone, one could say I should take Oracle, but I'm not. I'm going to take someone that I can have out in combat. I'm taking Mr. Terrific.
Okay. Okay.
He's
I
super
didn't even
strong.
think about Mr. Terrific.
He's super strong, and he's top 5 smartest people in the DC universe.
And I guess.
Oh, and I got to do my last pick.
Yeah.
All right, my last pick is, so we're strong because we got Mr. Terrific, Black Lightning, Starfire, and Superman. Super, super strong. And my question is, Schubert did bring up a good point. Should I have a magic character, or should I go with a Green Lantern? But I feel like I have my space taken care of, so I'm going to go with a magic character. But he's only a consultant on my team. He is the 7th member, but he does not come. He's not at every JL meeting. Dick's just like, look, bro, if I can get you here when I can get you here, you're a consultant. So, damn, but I want to add another person. But my consultant, 7th member, the person who has a chair is John Constantine.
That's solid.
He's a consultant. He's not there at every meeting. He's only there when magic shit goes down. And Dick's like, bro, your ass better be here.
Yeah, so like when it comes to filling the last seat, it's pretty hard because like I'm thinking, I'm wanting like, do you want to get a Green Arrow, a Black Canary kind of person in there? Do you want one of the Hawk people? But you know me, I love time travel, so I'm gonna put in Booster Gold.
Oh my god!
Just because we all need a little comic relief once in a while.
Nice.
And we need some time traveling elements.
I like it. I dig it. So say your team again from the top.
Batman, Green Lantern, Zatanna, Shazam, Flash, Cyborg, and Batman's number 1 fan, Booster Gold.
I feel like your team's like Batman and his gang.
Pretty much. Because like I had to get the Flash and the Green Lantern that fit. Zatanna's like his boo thing. Shazam is, he looks up to him.
Yeah.
Cyborg looks up to him.
Yeah.
And Booster Gold is a fanboy.
My team is like if the OG squad had retired. That's what my team is. My team is Teen Titans have grown up. Superman, Nightwing, Black Lightning, Wally West the Flash, Starfire, Mr. Terrific, and the 7th member who's just a consultant and only comes if magic shit is necessary, John Constantine.
Pretty much. Yeah, I can see Superman being like, yeah, bro, like Constantine, like I need your help, bro, because like magic shit.
Yeah, you gotta come for this. But I think my team works that way because we don't need to have all 7 members there present, because I think my team's powerful enough with Superman, Starfire, Black Lightning, Wally West Flash, and Mr. Terrific. Like Nightwing is the only normal human on my team.
Yeah, it comes difficult when you're picking these because you kind of want to pick someone who has different elements for stuff. Because I definitely wanted to put Blue Beetle in there, but like I just didn't seem like I felt that was necessary when you got.
He could have been your cyborg, like if you wanted.
And the thing with having Batman as your leader or in your group in general is that he checks a lot of boxes.
He does. But that's why with mine I had to put Mr. Terrific because I needed someone like that.
Exactly, yeah. Batman can be your chair guy. Batman can be your leader. Batman can be your person who has a persona as a alias.
Yeah.
So like,
no, I feel that. And then if like we were to have another member come in, like let's say Unlimited was about to happen, the next person that would join my team. Oh no, who would be the next person to join? Because I picked last.
Who would be the next person to join? Well, I guess I would go Firestorm.
Ooh, interesting. So the next person to join my team, because Constantine is a consultant, this person would come down from. This person is also a rookie. I have 2 rookies on my team. Even though Starfire is not really a rookie, This person I have is new to the Justice League, actually in the comics right now. She would be my Green Lantern. I'm taking the Latino Green Lantern, Jessica Cruz. So she would be new. She would be the next person to join my team right after.
Actually, Captain Atom wouldn't be a bad one either.
I don't like him. Well, he wouldn't fit on my team because him and Superman got beef.
That's true.
Funny enough, neither of us picked Aquaman. Neither of us picked the Hawk people. Neither of us picked Wonder Woman. And neither of us picked a Green Arrow person.
No. There's just other people, especially in the Batman universe, that just fill in a lot of those roles. The one person I feel like we left off that could have easily been added was Martian Manhunter, but it's just like when you have like a lantern, or, where do you really need like Martian Manhunter?
Well, not just that, but when you have Cyborg and I have Mr. Terrific, John is the Watchtower person. So like
exactly,
and I felt like because I have Starfire, that fills my Wonder Woman slot.
Sure. I guess I could have put in another female on there, but Zatanna is just a bad bitch.
No, she's solid. Look, like I said, the next person joining mine is Jessica Cruz. So solid squad. Our first draft. Let us know who your Justice League would be, and follow the rules to where you only get one Trinity member, and then you could pick the rest. But again, my team is Superman, Nightwing, Black Lightning, Wally West Flash, Starfire, Mr. Terrific, John Constantine as a consultant, and Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern. Schubert, give your team one more time.
Batman, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, Zatanna, Shazam, Flash, Barry Allen, Cyborg, Booster Gold, and Firestorm.
Solid. I love this draft, man. We're gonna keep this going. I'm excited. I'm excited for the next draft. I got to pick my pirate crew. That's gonna be tough. Let me tell you. I'm not taking Porcus D. I'm not taking Ace. Fuck Ace. I'm saying it on the pod. Fuck Ace, and I'm gonna say it on the Anime Talk pod too. I hope Krista takes that bitch boy.
You think Ace is gonna be a top pick?
He probably will for Krista. I'm not taking that bitch boy, and I'm not taking Luffy either because I'm the captain of that ship. Like that's the rules with the Anime Talk with the pirate draft. It's me and Chris are the captain. Yeah, we're captains of our respective ship. We have to pick a devil fruit, and then we have to pick 10 members to join our team. I don't know what devil fruit I'm gonna pick, but I think I'm gonna go Logia. I think I'm gonna go Logia to where if it doesn't have hockey and they shoot me, it just goes through my body, and I'm like, yeah, fuck you niggas.
Dude, you gotta get one of the Luffy's pirate crew though. I'm
gonna take somebody from the Straw Hats. I definitely will.
You gotta get the best.
I might have
get
two
my
straw
favorite
hats.
straw hat, bro.
Who's your favorite straw hat?
Zorro.
Ooh, I don't know if Zorro's making my squad. I do not know.
There's better swordsmen, that's for sure.
That is a fact.
But you could. The other one that you should get is probably Sanji because you want some good cook.
I thought about that. I'm actually torn between. Well, you haven't met the person I'm torn between.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say his name on here, but that should be a clue for who I'm going, and it's not fucking Brooke. Gosh. But that's all we got this week, Schubert.
All right. Well, that wraps things up for this week's Bros Who Binge episode. Lyndon, tell the people where they can find you at and what's going on with Bros Who Think.
You can find me at LynBWT. Follow Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. Like we said, we got a brand new Anime Talk episode. That'll be out on Tuesday, tomorrow. By the time you guys hear this, be sure and check that out. Be sure to check out the most recent Run It Back with where me and Chris reviewed Ghost in the Shell. Be sure to check out the Run It Back before that where me, Schubert, and Ian reviewed Pulp Fiction. Be sure to check out this Thursday, the newest Bros Who Think podcast. And if you didn't check out last week's, check that out. And then we didn't have a new manga chapter of Kaiju number eight, but there'll be a new one this week. And we're going to have some more anime vids throughout. And the next Run It Back has been chosen. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Me, Schubert, and Ian are getting ready to do that soon enough. So be on the lookout for that.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to this episode of the Bros Who Binge podcast number 104. And be sure to tune or check out last week's episode where we reviewed The Devil All the Time.
Facts.
We a few episodes back, we reviewed Tenet. So if you're still getting to watching that, I hope you are. I hope you have.
And we're gearing up for the next Pitch It match, man.
Gearing up for the next Pitch It match and anticipating the next slate of episodes for our favorite shows and getting closer to Mandalorian and hopefully some other movies that we can talk about down the pipe. But for Lyndon Bird, my name's Adam Schubert. I hope everyone has a great week. And as always, keep binging.